Hey, this is Russ. Yeah, I'm back out on the road again. Take a guess what bike I'm riding today. Yeah, this is Mrs. Wright's bike. It's the Pedego Avenue. Yeah, she likes this bike. Yeah, typically when we go riding to go shopping, sometimes she'll take this bike. Now you may look at it and say, well, there's no front basket. How do you keep all the stuff that you buy on there? Well, we go shopping together. I have the baskets. So she loads up my bike with it while she rides this bike. This bike only has a rear rack on it right now. I don't think you can put a front basket on this. Maybe you can, but I don't see anything that allows you to do that. But yeah, she favors this bike. This is her bike. Yeah, it's got the big 27-inch magnesium tires. Magnesium alloy rim tires. I should say magnesium rims. Magnesium alloy rims for the tires. Yeah, you got to get the terminology right. You know, it's a magnesium alloy rim wheels with 27-inch tires. How's that? That would be more correct. So I'm riding her bike today. Yeah, she took over this bike. I told you guys that, right? Yeah, she says, that's mine. I think she likes the color, but she also likes the fact that it is a larger wheel. She says the 20-inch bike tires look too small. They look like kids' toys. Yeah, okay, whatever. But she favors the 24-inch as well. She was the one that first started saying, why don't they make these 24-inch tire bikes? Yeah, she got me onto that. And when I got the 24-inch tire bike from Engwe, yeah, I go, yeah, I think maybe a 24-inch is actually a good size. So of course she takes the 27-inch. Yeah, well, what are you gonna do? All right, I think I'm gonna let this car pass me here. I mean, I don't know what these guys. All right, we're gonna keep going. I don't know why people, when they see a bike, they freak out. That's two cars now that wanted me to do stuff first before them. No, if drivers would just drive like they normally should be driving, we should be all okay. But they seem to be afraid to ride or to drive when there's bikes riding next to them. They don't know what we're gonna do, so then they don't do anything, you know. And if I'm stopping to the side, you should keep going. But I don't know. Oh well, what are you gonna do? So I have nowhere special to go. I didn't charge this bike up any more than whatever it happened to be charged at. Now, we had mentioned on one of the videos that it seems like sometimes these bikes seem to discharge over time, even if you have it fully charged. I think this one was fully charged, but I'm looking at the battery meter and I don't know if it's fully charged. It doesn't look like it is, but who knows? I really don't know. So this bike, when it was outfitted by the Pedego dealer, they go through their dealerships. It wasn't shipped directly to me. It was sent to me through the dealer. So I went to the dealer to go pick up the bike. It had a saddle on it and a seat post, but he says, you know, do you want the bigger saddle and the better seat post? I go, of course I do. So he put a Satori seat post. You know, it's not a real expensive type of seat post. It's just the ones that go up and down. There's not like the Sun Tour seat post. But hey, a suspension seat post is a suspension seat post. Yeah, I'll take it. And the saddle's nice and big too. I like that as well. I think I said to him when he asked that, he says, do you want that? I go, what do you think? Of course I do. Yeah, give me the better one. So what do we do to this bike? we added a side view mirror, as I usually do. This is the half-knee tear-shaped styled mirror. I actually like this mirror a lot. I have this on a lot of our bikes. I have the Magicycle bike outfitted with Magicycle mirrors because Magicycle gives them to me. So only right that I use those for the Magicycles. But I think between the two, I kind of prefer this one. Yeah, but I gotta buy these. So they're not on every single bike. I'm riding today after a rain. Now you might see it on the pavement. It's still a little wet every here and there, but it's yeah, evaporating. But because it's after a rain, you know, as you go underneath the trees, sometimes you get a little drop of water hit you every now and then. But it is a cooler breeze right now, so I figured, yeah, let me head out there and do a quick ride. Now, the last time I head out, I was on the High Peak bike. That's the folding bike. We were talking about folding bikes and the like, and yeah, I just kind of kept riding and riding, wasn't really paying attention, and next thing I knew, I was like, uh-oh, if I go any further, I might not make it home. Yeah, we had that fear. I was like, oh no, range anxiety. I have a second battery for that bike, but I didn't bring it with me. Same thing here, I have a second battery for this bike, I didn't bring it with me. So we're not going to go out too far. Hopefully I won't make the same mistake twice. But Russ is never wrong, I told you guys that. We might be mistaken, but we're never wrong. And yeah, I just got to keep an eye on where we are and what the battery shows. Now, Mrs. Wright, she can pedal this thing and get the full range of what manufacturers tell you because she's a good pedaler. That's for sure. I've been throttling a little bit. I think I'm gonna pedal a little bit today. Yeah, I usually, if I pedal when I go home. I don't usually pedal going to places because I don't want to sound winded on the video. But yeah, let's pedal a little bit. We'll put it on pedal assist level 4. This is a class 2 bike, so it's going to go to 20 miles per hour. Where we at 17 miles an hour right now. So I was thinking about various bikes that are coming in. And thinking about one bike that's coming in. I can't tell you too much about it, but it's I think you guys are gonna like this bike when it comes in. Let's put it this way: it's from a name that you all know. Yeah, it's not a obscure brand. It's a brand everybody knows, and yeah, it's got some special features on there. I think you're gonna like it. So that's all I'm gonna tell you about it. And then the other one is the Jaguar Rundy from Magicycle. It's not a new one, but they changed the battery. They went from 52 volts to 48, and they upped the motor from 600 to 750. Now I did ask them, is that going to hurt the performance of the bike? And they said no. We won't notice any difference than the other bike. Well, we'll see. We shall see, right? So that one's coming in. That's that'll make 3 Jaguar Rundies in our household. Now, continually people keep asking me to sell off a Magicycle, and I said no, not doing it. Not selling off anything. We're keeping those. I need that 3rd Jaguar Rundy. As people sometimes want to try out bikes, and that's the one I'm gonna let them try out. So there you go. Let me say something about the Pedego though. All right, this is one smooth bike. Yeah, I mean, there's no front fork suspension or anything like that. It's solid, but it rides pretty smooth. I mean, it feels really good. It is a step-through bike, but it's kind of high up there. So if you step through this, you got to really lift your leg up to get through it. I would call it more of a mid-step, really. I mean, I know a lot of companies don't categorize their bikes as mid-step or full step-throughs, but I would call this one a mid-step. It's a little high. But you could put your leg through it. It's not like you can't. But you got to really lift it up. So I think, you know, for those who are a little bit more challenged in stepping through things, you'd have to tilt the bike down a little bit when you step through. I just swing my leg over it. I think sometimes that's easier. Try to lift my leg up and then stepping through it. Just swing it over just like it's a step over type of bike. But it's not a step over. Just kind of makes it easier for me that way. You know, now like when I start up this bike, coming through this busy intersection, I will throttle to get myself going before pedaling. Mrs. Wright does that too. A lot of people do it. Just to get started, they'll throttle up, get that bike moving first, and then they'll start pedaling. That seems to be the best way to start up these bikes, especially when they're heavy bikes. This one's not as heavy, but you know, it is still an e-bike, so it is heavier than a standard non-electric bike. Let me address another thing too concerning step overs versus step throughs. Some people have asked me, you know, wouldn't the step through design be a weaker design than a step over? In general, yes, it would be. But they build these bikes so strong for e-bikes, I don't think it's an issue anymore. You know, maybe it was in the days when we had bikes that were in the 21, 22 pound ranges. Remember those bikes? Yeah, those really lightweight road bikes. Yeah, in that case, I think I'd rather have a step over bike because I want that rigidity. When you're talking a bike that's like 60 pounds, 70 pounds, 80 pounds, and it happens to be a step through design, I don't think it's an issue. Yeah, it's not an issue. They build these things solid. The welding on these things are solid. Everything's about it solid. There's reinforcement stuff even to make it more solid. So yeah, don't worry about it. I mean, the days of step through and step over being stronger one way or not, I don't think that's a concern anymore. I think it's more the stigma of whether, you know, a guy says, oh, I'm going to ride this girl's bike. It's not even that anymore. A lot of my bikes now are step-through designs. Mrs. Wright has been telling me for a long time, get a step-through. You're going to get older. You're going to need it. Yeah, it's true. I have gotten used to the step-throughs, and it's made it a lot easier to get on and off these bikes. So, and we've seen too that some companies are really promoting their step-over bikes because I think they're overstocked on them. And so they're trying to push them to get them out of there. So, yeah, a lot of people are buying step-through type designs. Makes sense to me. By the way, if you want to extend your range, you know, if you're pedaling or if you're throttling, you know, there's a thing called coasting. It's true. You want to extend it? Pedal a little bit and coast. You expend 0 watts when you coast. You don't use any power. All right, let's go through here. Yeah, you don't use any power if you coast. Yeah, you could throttle or pedal. Like right now I'm throttling and pedaling. Throttling to get me started, then pedaling to continue going. Then I could just coast for a while. Yeah, don't pedal, don't do anything. Of course, you're slowing down when you're doing that. But it is a strategy to extend range when you really need battery. Let's say you're running out of range and you got to go. You could pedal and coast, pedal and coast, pedal and coast. Probably double your range. Take you longer. You know, I'm coasting right now. It'll take you longer to get there, but look, I'm coasting the entire time here. Yep, haven't pedaled anything. Coasting all the way down. Yeah, I mean, I see this incline or decline. I don't know what you want to call it. We're going down the hill. why not coast it? Yeah, why not coast it? Save a little bit of battery. Now the battery gauge still shows 4 bars, but I don't know if this one actually goes up to 5 bars. I guess it does. All of these things do 5 bars, right? I'll tell you this, you know, because we haven't used this bike in a while, and I haven't pumped it up with air. This thing really dropped in air, and it was really hard to read what the pounds per square inch was required. It was written on the reflective part of the tire. You know what I'm talking about? You know, some of the bikes have like a reflective, I don't know, it's like a big circle around the the tire, just so that if a car were to shine their headlights against it, it would show up and it would reflect, right? It was on that, so I couldn't barely read it. So I took a photo of it with my phone, then zoomed in on the photo. Yeah, I think it said something like 40 to 65 pounds of pressure, something like that. Couldn't read it well. Maybe it said 30 to 65 pounds. I put in 45. I don't know what it should be. I'm not putting 65. I'm too heavy, and I think it would just pop it a lot easier if I did that. So I put 45. But the thing had dropped down. And I think I put 45 originally too when we first got the bike, but I think it had dropped down to like 16. I mean, if I would just have taken the bike out and just didn't even bother to put air in it, we would have been at 16 pounds per square inch. That would be way too low for these tires. So every tire has a different rating, as you know, and most of my 4-inch fat tire bikes, whether it's a 20-inch tire or a 26-inch tire or even the 24-inch tire, I put 20 pounds of pressure in there. So so these thinner tires have a higher pressure. So like the Magicycle commuter bike, it's a really thin tire as well. I usually put, I don't know what I put in that. Is that 50? It's either 40 or 50. I got to take a look at that. These I put 45s in here. So yeah, check your tires, and I'm not kidding. I mean, when I first started riding e-bikes, I was putting in air on my Rad Rover 5 probably every other day. I would have to put some extra air in there. I don't know what it is. Maybe it locks in place after a while, and then after a while it just kind of stayed, and it didn't lose the air that much. But I think initially it started out, I would have to always put in a little bit of air, maybe a pound or two. Now you may think, it's not a big deal, but you know, yeah, it is a big deal. It affects your range. If it's too low, it affects your range. So yeah, be careful of that. Always check your tires. By the way, he's talking about the Rad Rover 5. Yeah, the Rad Rover 5 has been sold. Yeah, the original e-bike that started this whole journey has been sold. Yeah, one of you guys had picked up my Rad Rover 5. Yep. Got a great deal on it too. I'll tell you. He got the triangle battery, and he got a second triangle battery too. Yeah, he got a really good deal on that thing. Yeah, he was really excited to get it. So congrats to him. I appreciate it. His name is Richard. Congrats to you. Enjoy the bike. Ride safely. Okay? Ride safely. Don't kill off my bike. Don't kill yourself off either. Be careful. Yeah. Ride safely. So we're heading in the same directions as we did before when I said, uh-oh, got to turn around. Part of me wants to see how far we can get on this bike versus that other bike. But yeah, I'm riding a little bit differently today. I've been pedaling a little bit, and I've been throttling as well. We should be able to get some range. I believe we are in Arlington Heights right now. Yeah, I debated whether I wanted to even ride today. You know, I mean, it was raining pretty good this morning. You can hear it all coming down, and so I said, I guess we're not going to ride today. And it was really dark in the morning and everything too because of it. I said, it's going to be a day where I can't go out. Then it cleared up. So then I started thinking, I go, well, sometimes after rain it's kind of cool, right? I think the forecast showed it was like 71 degrees here, something like that. I go, yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm wearing the one of the other shirts, the long sleeve shirts that I have that are UV rated. This one's a little long. This one's I think we got this from Colombia. Sleeves are a little long on it, kind of floppy, but that doesn't matter. As long as it's covering me up, doesn't matter. Yeah, take a look at some of these UV rated type shirts if you're riding a lot, you know. You got to protect your skin somehow. I mean, I know I'm not putting in the sunscreen, which I really should do, but at least wear the shirt. Kind of helps out a little bit. Better than nothing. So, this road is 30 miles per hour. There's a FedEx truck behind me. He's going to take over the road there. You see how he had to go wide to avoid me, and that's because I usually take a third of the lane. And I've been preaching this for a while now. That if I were to go right up to the edge of this thing, like if I were to go right here, which is where a lot of bike riders do, some guys won't move over at all when they try to pass you, and they'll just push you right into the I always call it the gutter. It'll feel like the gutter if you get pushed in there. The shoulder, okay? If you do a third of the lane like I'm doing right now, I'm like in 1/3, they can't squeeze you. They can't stay in the lane. They have to move over. I think it's safer for you. You know, they don't like it, but that's tough for them. I'd rather be safe. Make them move. Okay, so there's a big truck or something behind me or something. Can't tell. Now he's probably thinking about it. He's going, this guy's not going fast enough. It's 30 miles an hour. I'm only doing 20. He's hanging back there. I don't know what he's doing. But even like that, he can't pass me unless he moves over. And when that forces him into the other lane, this is only a 2-lane road, one in each direction. So he's probably thinking, what am I going to do? This guy is just too slow. He's not making his move. But I bet you anything, if I stayed on that line, he'd try to pass, and then he'd be pushing me into the shoulder. All right, I'll do him a favor, and I'll move off the road, let him get past on the stop sign. I don't know what this car's doing here. She's blinking. All right, let's go this way. Let's take a right. Let's take a right. He's following me. He's probably going, oh no, this guy's going down the same road. I figure I'd do him a favor and get off. Nope. He's following me. All right, I don't want to go too far down anyways because I don't know how much battery this will allow me to go. Okay, he turned off somewhere. I think if I keep going further, I'll end up at the Prospect Heights Trail. I may head back. I may have to turn around somewhere and head back. See what this road is up ahead. Up, drop down 1 bar on the battery meter. Yeah, we should head back. Should have brought the second battery. This is why you have second batteries. I tell you guys to bring the second battery, and then I don't even bring one. How do you like that? All right, let's see. How can we go? Exit only. Well, we're gonna do their exit only and use it as a turning. Yeah, breaking all the rules, I know. This is a school. I'll just use it and turn around a little bit here. Okay, there we go. Now we're back up. Breaking the rules. Alright, my battery meter went back up another notch. Yeah, you know when it's on the edge of that, sometimes it'll go down, sometimes it goes up. That's because when it's under load, when it's actually measuring while you're working, it sometimes gives you a different reading if you're on the edge of it. Like it wants to drop one, but it doesn't really want to drop one. Yeah, we're pedaling. We're riding, we're pedaling. Yeah, people say, Russ never pedals. Yeah, I do. I just don't do it on the camera often. Because you'll hear me tiring out. I'm tiring out now. Alright, so what else is going on? Well, the Rad Rover's gone. There's another bike that's being looked at. That might be gone by next week as well. Little by little, things are disappearing. I think we got to turn here. Yeah, we got to take a left here. Right, these guys honking. I don't know why they're honking. Yeah, that vehicle is being towed, getting ready for towing. I don't know why they're honking a horn. The tow truck driver guy was getting it ready, but it was honking at him. I don't know why. Okay, so now we got headwind going on, so I can't hear what I'm saying. But again, a lot of times you guys can hear it because the windscreen's really good on my microphone. Alright, let's move to pedal assist level 5. Make it a little easier on myself. You know, I wanted to stay in 4 to kind of keep the battery. But nah, we'll do 5. We'll do 5. We're ghost pedaling a bit now. We'll go back to 4. 4 I wasn't ghost pedaling, but it was only giving me like 17.5 miles an hour. You can feel the resistance. We'll go to 5. Go to 5 and ghost pedal it. Yeah, sometimes if it's too slow, I just feel like I'm going too slow. I think my norm is probably at least 18 miles an hour now. I think when I get anything less than that, I feel like I'm going too slow. Yeah, I know that's not normal for some people. Because many people ride a lot less than that, but I'm just too used to speed at this point. The schools are back in session at this point. So off to our right is Hersey High School. John Hersey High School, and they have an open campus policy, so the kids during lunch hour sometimes cross over here and they end up over in the shopping center to our left, and they take their lunches or do whatever, and so they'll walk around here, you know, to go to Target or wherever they're going. They'll walk around here and then head back to school after the period is over. I remember when I was in high school, a friend of mine had a car, so he would drive us to like McDonald's or some other places just to get lunch. I mean, we ate lunch at school too, but after a while you want something that's a little different. So when you have a friend that has a car, yeah, he'll take you places, right? All right, I'm gonna stay here because we're gonna go straight. The other lane is a right turn lane, so we don't want to do that, so we'll stay here with the rest of the cars. Okay. It's a balancing act, you know. I was going as slow as I can. No, we're not gonna make it. We are not gonna make it. We'll have to wait our turn, cross Rand Road here. I've ridden Rand Road before, but I don't like it. It's not the most friendly for bikes. Sometimes it can get a little iffy on that road. I'd rather take this road and then go further in and then take some side streets. So we were talking about that the other day. Richard, who had purchased my Rad Rover 5, you know, he said that he typically had ridden on sidewalks and the like with his regular bike. And I said, you know, with this big e-bike, sometimes people will look at that and say, get off the sidewalk, get on the street, right? But the thing with the street, you got to feel comfortable before getting on the streets. I told him that when I first started riding the bike, I was on the sidewalk too, because I hadn't ridden for many years as well, because with my knee being so bad, I stopped riding bikes altogether. And then, so when I finally got the bike, I was only riding sidewalks, and some lady, I don't know who it was, one of my viewers said, Russ, you're afraid of everything. You know, why aren't you on the streets going places? Well, that's all it took. It just took one comment like that. You know, nobody tells me that I'm afraid of things, so I said, I'm getting on the street. So slowly, I started doing the streets, and I wouldn't pick difficult streets. I started out with streets that are, you know, side streets, you know, in your neighborhood, that type of stuff, till you're used to it. And then from that point, then I started going further. Now, as you can see, I'm here with the cars going past me and everything. But I'll try to pick streets that'll do like 30 miles an hour if I can. You know, if I can avoid the 45-mile-an-hour streets, that's what I'm going to try to do. So you build up I don't know, is that a tolerance for the cars? You get used to them, and then you start knowing how drivers tend to react when you're riding, and then you try to avoid certain types of weird behaviors some drivers do. You can kind of tell after a while what they might do, but like we said earlier in this video, sometimes they don't know what to do. So they wait for you to make a decision, or they want you to go and break the law because they're letting you do it. Like, for instance, I'll come up to a stop sign and they'll wave me through. So the thing is if I go through, I technically break the law, right? Because you're not stopping at the stop sign, which I rarely do anyway. But that's another story. But they'll wave you through. You know, you can't just go. If they wave you through, you got to really kind of look. You got to make sure everybody that's in that area allows you to go through. Now, if there's nobody else there, and it's just that car, then yeah, that's another story. You can probably do it, but I usually try to signal to them to let them know I see them asking me to do it, and then that I agree that I will do it. I make eye contact with them if I can, so that they know that, yeah, we're doing this, okay? Then nobody gets hurt. But if they wave you through and they don't think you see it, then they decide to go through anyway, then they run into you. So then who's at fault at that point? So yeah, that's the issue a lot of times, is you just got to make sure everyone knows what's going on before you go in and agree to doing something that they tell you to do. So yeah, be careful riding in the streets if you're going to be riding streets. I know some of you guys do. Some of you guys ride streets like I do. I actually prefer riding the streets over riding some of these bike paths. I know a lot of you guys like seeing the bike paths, but I feel like when I'm on the streets, I'm going someplace. I have a purpose. I can go anywhere I want, really, if I wanted to, right? So I actually prefer the streets at this point, but I don't take every street. I kind of pick and choose my streets. Oh, he mentioned to me too, Richard mentioned to me, he says he really liked the fact that on the video that I did, I was going down the bike path, and then I was going to go into the other part of the forest preserve, and we saw that there was a sidewalk was closed, and I would had to cross the street. And eventually, I said, yeah, I'll have to cross through here, so kind of like jaywalking or sidewalking or riding or whatever you want to call it. And I didn't think I could make it through because cars just kept coming. And then I know that the limitations of that electric bike company, Model S, even if I pushed it, it could only do 20 miles an hour unless I pedal real hard to get past it. And as you know, I don't have the leg strength to do that with the bad knee. So I said, forget it. I said, I'm not going. Forget it. I'm going to go back. He said he liked the fact that I did that because it kind of shows that the safety was more important to me than forcing myself to get through to that forest preserve. Yeah, that's true. The safety is more important. I don't do it. One of you guys made a comment on a recent video. I said that the Engwe, had a top speed. It was doing 30 miles an hour, but after 3 minutes, it would cut out, and then your speed would drop. He says, well, you should do it, for the sake of your viewers to find out whether it really will cut out at 30 miles an hour for 3 minutes. And I just answered him, I don't risk my life for stuff like that. I don't. I don't care what it is for the channel. I don't risk my life for stuff. I mean, 30 miles an hour for 3 minutes, unless I'm competing with cars, I don't ride typically at 30 miles an hour, so I wouldn't do it. I probably will never even hit that 3-minute limit because I don't usually ride 30 miles an hour for 3 minutes. Others weighed in on it and said that it's a protection type of device, so you don't overheat the battery. It's probably true. I think that's probably what they were saying too, is to kind of protect the batteries and stuff. Because yeah, 30 miles an hour for a long time would really heat the batteries up like crazy. So yeah, it kind of makes sense then if you think about it that way. You have to kind of think about it too. Will you really ride 30 miles an hour for more than 3 minutes? And unless you're speeding for, I don't know, for a race or something like that, why would you do that? So, so I guess maybe their decision of limiting it might make some sense after hearing those comments like that. Oh, concerning the draining battery issue, remember I said, is this stuff draining? Because some of my bikes seem like after I've charged it for a while and it's draining. So some of the comments were, why are you charging your bike to 100% and not using it right away? Well, the thing is I never know which bike I'm gonna take, and sometimes it's a spur of the moment thing, so I usually charge them up, and then I'll take the bike, or maybe I'll take another bike. Sometimes I have intention to take a bike and I don't do it, and then I end up with another bike. And so that's why sometimes my bikes will be charged up fully to 100%, usually during riding season. I don't do it during winter and stuff, as you know. I drop everything down to at least 70% levels. But somebody mentioned that maybe it could be that one of the battery cells in that battery is defective. It's not charging, so what happens is the other battery cells in there try to make that up. So it's draining to try to charge that bad cell. That kind of makes sense too. It could be. There's no way for me to find out. They said open it up and check out the cells. No, I'm not going to do that either. I'm not going to disassemble the batteries to find a bad cell. I'm not going to do it. So although the comment makes sense, I'm not gonna do surgery on the batteries. Do it for the sake of your viewers. I don't risk my life for stuff like that. I told you that. I'm not gonna do it. I mean, there are YouTubers who will do anything to get a view. Yeah, not me. I'm not young. I'm not young and stupid. I look at these things and go, yeah, that's dangerous. I'm not doing that. I don't care who's asking. I'm not doing it. This is the stubbornness in me, and the wisdom of growing older, saying, yeah, that's not smart. That's a little risky. No way. Yeah, that's how I think. You know, as much as I love having the views and having the thing, yeah, sometimes you just got to draw the line and say, you know, yeah, maybe not. I'm not doing it. Somebody told me, he says, that's why we like watching Russ is Right. You tell it as it is, and you won't do stuff that people tell you to do because you know it's not a good idea. Yeah, that's true. I won't do it. All right, time for a cig of water. Let's grab some water here. Let's make this turn first. I need more water, but I was going up to the stop sign. Yeah, okay, and concerning stop signs, one of our viewers said that recently, I think he said he's in Minnesota, they adopted the stop sign as a yield sign for bike riders. Yeah, I like that. I wish Illinois would do it. You know, if they see that surrounding states are starting to do it, maybe they'll eventually do it. But somehow, I just don't think Illinois will do it. Thinking about our politicians and stuff, somehow I just don't see them doing it. I wish they would though, because as you know, best I will do is slow down, but I will go through it just like they do. But I would like to be able to legally say I did it that way. All right. Where's our battery? 2 bars left. Yeah, we'll make it back. It's a nice breezy day today. Yeah, I like it. Usually when that happens, I drop off the bike and get another bike. Go out again. I might do that again. Pick up another bike and go. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll call it a day for this one. I'm gonna go home, drop this bike off, pick up another bike, and head back out again. Yeah, that's the way I ride. Yeah, we don't go any place special, but it doesn't really matter. Just get out and do it. Get out and ride a little bit. That's how it is. Oh, let's take the path here. Let's see if anybody's fishing. There's a little lake on this bike path. The other day we saw some kids and some adults were attempting to fish, and they have caught things out of there. I've seen people pull fish out of there. It's a little pond. I think it's a private pond, really. It's basically for the residents in that area, but people fish out of it. We'll head through there, then we'll call it a day. Let's take a look to see if anyone's doing anything. Yeah, it's a nice day. I think I'll take another bike out. What should I take? Maybe I'll take the Troxus. Yeah, take the Troxus Lynx out. You know, the thing is, when I do two bikes in a day, come back home, I gotta charge things up again because I might need it again, right? But, you know, I guess I could do this, is just leave it alone and then charge it up the night before. But a lot of times I don't know which bike I want to take, and sometimes it's a last minute decision. So I usually charge them up, but that's why I keep thinking, why is it discharging after I've charged it up? And then maybe it'll be a week or two sometimes before I take that bike out again. So here's the little lake on our right-hand side, but I don't see anybody fishing out of there today. Alrighty, I'll let you guys go. watch the next video. It'll be the same day on a different bike. Yeah, I think I will take the Traxxas out on the next one. Anyways, I appreciate you guys watching, staying with me, keeping me company. If you like the video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already done it. We are right on the edge of hitting 16,000 subscribers, so thank you very much. Anyways, I'll talk to you guys next time.